Since the release of its first season back in 2010, it didn't take long for Blue Bloods to become the most popular procedural drama in the history of CBS. And with a fantastic cast of characters, coupled with some truly shocking storylines, this was really no surprise. But what were some of the most astonishing moments from the show? And what other Blue Bloods headlines should you be aware of? For all this and more, stay tuned. First of all, let's take a look at a moment that shocked everyone in Season 4. In an episode titled Bad Blood, Danny and his partner Maria are called to a crime scene where they discover a man dead on the floor. In true Blue Bloods fashion, it's Maria who begins to track down the perpetrator of the crime using her many connections, and this causes her to stumble upon a man she never thought she'd see again. But rather than divulge her obvious connection to the perpetrator, out of fear that she'll get kicked off the case, she acts coy and pretends that she doesn't know him. But after she and Danny tail the man to learn more about the crime, it becomes more and more difficult to keep this revelation under wraps. You see, when the dynamic duo finally come face to face with the suspect, even Danny realizes that there's a connection between the two of them. Not only does Maria know that he goes by the name of Tic-Tac, she also knows where to find him when he appears to disappear off the face of the earth. The situation takes its toll on Maria, and after a while, she turns to Danny and reveals that the suspect, whose real name is Javi, is actually her own brother. A reveal that took fans by surprise and finally brought on some much-deserved character development for the detective we had come to love over the years. She wasn't just a run-of-the-mill cop anymore, she was someone who clearly had some scars. Unsurprisingly enough, this resulted in the likability of the character skyrocketing. After the discovery that her brother was a suspect in the murder of another, fans became obsessed with the history of Danny's partner. And as the episode continued, we came to discover that her life wasn't always the easiest. Having grown up in a tough home, Maria decided to become a cop so that she could help save other children from the type of things she had experienced when she was younger. Javi, on the other hand, took the road more traveled by those in her community. He fell into a routine of drug use that caused his life to fall apart at the seams. This resulted in the two developing a rather murky relationship with one another. We come to learn that Maria has always kept tabs on Javi and thus knows that he is more than capable of committing murder, but she still holds on to the hope that he isn't the one who took the life of the man we saw when the episode first kicked off. And as it turns out, she was right to hold on to the hope that he would better himself. He was recovering from his drug addiction at the time, after all, and since his former drug dealer came to believe that Javi was about to squeal, he decided to send someone Javi's way to do the real killing. In other words, what Javi did was completely within the ambit of the law, causing Maria to change her course of thinking. Why was this one of the most shocking moments of the show, though? Well, this has everything to do with the story revolving around Maria, who to date hadn't received much love from the writers of the show. Sure, she was in almost every episode of Blue Bloods since she first made her appearance, but until Bad Blood, she had been relegated to the position of Danny's partner. There was really no reason to get to know her as a character because she was there to simply play a supporting role to the man of the hour. But then we discovered more about her, and with every passing minute, it became harder and harder to refer to her as anything other than Maria. The writers took a definite risk in shifting the storyline away from the Reagans for a little while, and this definitely paid off, as it resulted in some of the best praise the show had received up to that point. Take a look at IMDb and you'll see that Bad Blood is one of the highest rated episodes of the show, with many still talking about how great it was to see Maria get her time in the spotlight. The episode was also praised for humanizing a criminal like Javi and showing that it's always best to maintain hope. If you truly think about it, this wasn't just about the discovery that Javi was above board the whole time, it was more about Maria finally accepting him as a member of her family again. No wonder it was so beloved. But it was Season 5 that really took the cake when changing the narrative. Fans of the show will know that the marriage between Danny and Linda isn't an easy one. The fact that Danny's a cop brings with it much contention, with Linda fearing the worst each and every time he leaves the house. It's a topic that has been explored quite a few times. For Danny, he's just doing his job, and if he can't can't put himself in dangerous situations, he'll never be able to save the people who deserve to be saved. Linda, on the other hand, doesn't want to lose the only man she's ever truly loved. And since she's been surrounded by the Reagans for the majority of her life, she knows just how many cops have lost their lives in the line of duty. But the writers of the show decided to flip the script when it came to the 5th season of the franchise. Rather than putting Danny in danger once more, it was Linda who decided to play hero for the sake of someone else. Over the runtime of both New Rules and The Art of War, which revolves around the tracking of the man who killed Chief Donald Kent, Linda found herself between a rock and a hard place. While caring for a patient who just so happens to be a key witness of the murder, Linda discovers that a member of the man's gang has made his way into the hospital. The man raises his gun, and Linda quickly shields her patient from harm. Did this flipping of the script work, though? Absolutely! After getting injured in the process of doing her job, Danny came to realize just what he had been putting Linda through all these years. And while he couldn't just stop doing his job because of her worrisome looks, this helped him to understand exactly what she was feeling. Suffice to say, this was a fantastic way for the writers to bring the story arc to an end, as well as the marital problems that used to exist between Danny and Linda. They both learned that it's good to worry about one another, but that worry should never get in the way of what's truly behind it, which is love. But it goes without saying that this was one of the more stressful episodes of the 12-season run of the show, especially considering how the screen turned to black after the first shot was fired off in Linda's direction. We truly had no idea what to expect. Fans had previously vocalized just how annoying the marital problems between Danny and Linda had become after all, so it made sense that she would be taken out of the show. But what nobody expected was for this little moment to lead to the correction of something fans didn't have much love for. And in true Reagan fashion, the couple was able to make it through with little to no difficulty. It must also be said that this little incident showed us Danny's sensitive side, which was much needed. But despite these fantastic episodes, Blue Bloods has achieved a record of note, and it isn't a record the show will want to boast about anytime soon. For those of you who don't know, Season 12 of Blue Bloods hasn't resonated well with fans, and as it turns out, they aren't tuning in the way they used to. While the day-to-day dealings of the Reagan family still have us hooked, the majority of the fan base has fallen by the wayside, causing the showrunners to ask whether there's any point in continuing the franchise after the end of the latest installment. You see, while other CBS shows have increased in popularity over the years, Blue Bloods is on the cusp of cancellation, with a franchise low of 5.5 million views on average. The show is also down in the demo at the moment, and since it has yet to be renewed for another season, it feels like this could very well be the end. And there you have it, everything you might want to know about the history and past of Blue Bloods. What do you think of the possible cancellation of the franchise, though? And what was your favorite shocking moment? Be sure to let us know in the comments section down below.